Alright, what's good, y'all? It's your boy Bobby W223 here, and this is my review of God of War Ascension for the single player online, the whole package. I beat the game what, a couple, 3 days ago. Um, Overall, I enjoyed the game. It was good. I do feel that this game was kind of not needed far as story and all that stuff. There wasn't really too much that they revealed that we didn't really know far as the significant things in the story, but overall it was a good game, probably one of the weaker games in the series, but still overall very fun. Gameplay was solid overall. Good story, graphics and things like that overall, but like I said, nothing too significant about the story. I mean, I think most of you guys pretty much know it takes place 6 months after he pretty much broke up with Ares. I guess you could say, he tried to, leave the whole Ares thing behind and basically quit his job, left his boss, and the Furies, which are, pretty much, they try to keep in task, I guess, the whole if you make like a blood oath with a god, they try to keep all of that going. So if you try to break your blood oath, they pretty much put you in jail. I guess you could pretty much say like he was in jail, pretty much, and I guess they were pretty much trying to get him back into his blood oath, and we're trying to trick him into that, and that's pretty much the whole game, is you trying to escape the Furies, and at the end of the game you kill them. There's other things that go on, like it kind of shows how he first started getting those visions and things like that, which he complains about throughout the entire series, how he keeps seeing visions of his family and he keeps remembering, how he killed his family and da 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 da. And yeah, pretty much, I guess you can, only significant thing I can see is that this kind of reiterates more on the reason why he basically can't have his family back. Pretty much, like, he's basically fucked no matter what, and this pretty much kind of shows that even more, even though obviously Kratos is in denial, because I mean the whole series he's trying to basically fix his life, even though there's pretty much nothing that he can do and things like that. But overall fun. Few things with the gameplay. Like I said, overall gameplay was good in the single player, but few things I felt like sometimes the gameplay got a little unresponsive. I don't know if it was frame rate issues when the game would get kind of heavy with a lot of characters and a lot of action on screen. When I would try to do certain attacks and things like that, it felt like the mechanics got a little unresponsive every now and again, and it would get annoying. If you start dying over stupid shit like that, it just kind of pissed me off. Like if I would try to roll dodge out of the way or do a certain attack or switch to the one of the different attacks and things like that, it will get a little annoying. But overall, I mean, God of War fun. I mean, they did improve on some things with the gameplay, but at the same time, I mean, it's pretty much the same type of control, same type of gameplay overall. But they did switch up a little bit with like the O button, how that's kind of like a dedicated button for special attacks. What else? You only have one weapon, but what they did is you have four elements. You have Zeus, Poseidon, Hades, and Ares. So pretty much fire, ice, electricity, and then soul for like Hades. So you can release like the undead souls and shit like that. So it kind of did make it feel like you had four weapons without them actually really giving you four weapons on top of having the sub weapons and things like that. So I thought that was kind of cool. And each of those elements or whatever, you would get a certain magic ability within things like that as well. The grappling I felt was a lot better in this game, things like that. Environments, it's pretty much looks just like any other God of War game. I do like the art style more in this one than in God of War 3. God of War 3 was kind of darker, which did make sense because you kill Helios and things like that. So there's no sun in God of War 3, but this is obviously a prequel, so it's a lot brighter, a lot more vibrant. Everything just kind of looks smoother, better animations in my opinion. Music really good, classic God of War score. Music was great in the intense moments and things like that. The cutscenes, if it was kind of more of a slower moment when it was trying to, the whole thing they're talking about with Kratos trying to make him seem more human-like, which honestly to me same old angry Kratos, but you know he was toned down a little bit, but compared to what they were trying to make it sound like he was just gonna be completely different, it's just pretty much the same old Kratos, you know. But some of the cutscenes were interesting when he would reminisce about his family and just different things like that. You kind of got inside of his head a little more, so that was nice, even though some of it was hallucinations. No sex mini game. They did kind of tease it, but there was no sex mini games. I found that kind of funny. Um, I'll just chime in real quick with some of the controversial stuff that people are talking about, like with the whole trophy, the Bros Before Hoes thing was just way out of hand. I talked about this already in another video, but to me, that shit was blown way out of proportion. Freaking a female was the one that made that trophy anyway, so that was just completely out of hand. The Trials of Archimedes, honestly, it's not that hard. It's just annoying more than it's difficult. What I mean by that is, I mean each wave really isn't that hard. It's just the fact that if you're not playing it correctly, by the time you get to that third wave, which is the last wave, you'll have like no health, and if you get hit like 2 times, you die, and you gotta start all the way over back at the beginning of the first wave. And really, the first wave is really key. If you can get past the first wave with at least half your health, you'll be okay. But that's that with that. Touch real quick on the online. Overall, I like it. I do like the online. Me and a PlayStation Gamer, we're gonna post a couple of videos here over this weekend showing us playing some of the 2v2, which is what you see right now too. But that's not me and him playing it. But my favorite modes are the 2 and 4 player type of modes. The 2v2 4-player deathmatch and the 2-player horde mode. Those 3 modes are my favorite. The 8-player mode, it's okay. It gets a little bit too chaotic for me. I think that's what most people complain about, like Hard 8 and those guys. I know that he doesn't like the multiplayer that much, but I feel that the modes where there's 4 people, whether it's 2 versus 2 or 4-player free for all, or the 2-player horde mode, which is just 2 people, not 4. But I think those modes, those 2 to 4 player modes, are really good. Those suit the game very well. Most of the maps I like all the maps besides the one, I forget the name of it, but it's in the single players, that boss fight where the guy has that power where he can like like slow you down, and like the ground like falls beneath you and shit, and you end up getting his power up and shit later on. That map is some bullshit. But besides that, I mean, the big maps, the 8-player maps, stuff like that are fun. The smaller, 4-player maps are fun. Leveling up, you get a shit ton of armor and upgrades and all that good stuff. Typical, online in that aspect. But it's something different. It's not a shooter, so it is nice. Sorry that this video was kind of rushed, but I got shit I gotta do today, so I'll hurry up and get this out for you guys. And this is Bobby W 223.